All right. Good morning, everybody. This video is going to be kind of short today. It has been a long time since I have made a vlog about really anything. I took a bit of a hiatus from all social media. As you may have seen on some of my other accounts, if you follow me there, they no longer exist. A while back, I did some soul searching, talked to God a lot about a lot of things, and one of the things that was really getting in the way of mine and his relationship was my attachment to my social media and the amount of time that I spent serving my social media and not him. So yeah, all of my social media is completely gone. The only thing I have left is this YouTube account that I was primarily using for just watching YouTube videos and liking some music and just kind of keeping track of things. This video is kind of going to be meant to kind of catch you guys up. I don't really know how I'm going to catch you guys up. I've not really posted anything since the end of last school year, and a lot has happened. A lot has happened. If I didn't already tell you guys, I don't know, remember if my last vlog was before I was married, but I'm married now, if that wasn't in there. Me and my wife have been together for almost a year now. Coming up on June 11th of this coming year, we will be celebrating our first year of marriage together, and it's been awesome. I am so glad and so blessed that God has put her in my life as my life partner and as my wife, and she takes good care of me. I am forever and eternally grateful for her. Other life events, gosh, there's been so much. I'll talk a little bit through the summer. I did some odds and ends jobs for some people. I went and taught Heritage High School's first week of band camp, which was pretty fun. Got to work with their front ensemble. Did some good work there. Then went and started my own school year, and let me tell you, this year's been a long one. I made the stupid mistake of thinking that year one was going to be the hardest year and that year two would become easier. It did not. It did not in any way, shape, or form or fashion. It got so much harder. This year, up until the very end of the year when things started getting a little better, I was really questioning on whether I wanted to continue teaching or not, and whether this was really truly my calling in life. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. We'll start with band camp of this past year. Oh man. To say the least, that this band, it wasn't as rough of a band camp behavior. Well, okay, it was rough, but in a different way. Like my first band camp there at the school that I teach at, there was just an unholy upheaval. Like, kids did not want a new teacher, and I mean, I can't blame them. They've had teachers in and out for the past 8 years, and for them to not want a new person to just suddenly come and take over, man, I get it. But this band camp was different. A lot of them were kids that I've had for years, that I've had for a year now, and that I've taught. And just managing emotions this year in band camp was the hard part. There were some students who just had some intense beef with each other that just didn't stop. I mean, it's gotten way better now. It's not to the point that it was anymore. Everything's manageable. But there for a little bit, good gosh, it was rough. Marching season came and went. We did a show based on the Greatest Showman movie, and it was pretty entertaining. I had a good time with it. The drum break was kind of challenging for him, and I think it pushed a lot of our percussionists. One of them individually, I can't say their name, but one of them spent the entire summer and did like the 365 days practice challenge, and he got really good really fast. He went from not being able to play double strokes and barely being able to play any sort of single rhythm to being one of our strongest in general. And he's continuing to push himself. He's already got the show learned and everything. I'm super proud of the kid. There's another one who is now understanding the practice regimen that the first student I was talking about started, and has started her own practice regimen. She took her drum home this summer and is really stepping up to the plate. Has grown a lot as a person, and I think is well on her way to becoming one of the greats of percussion at the school that I work at. There's a few others that are doing really well. One of them is in private lessons right now and has come leaps and bounds farther than she was when she came in, and is able to read music now and is a solid student. Can't complain on that part of things. And they're teenagers. That's what I constantly have to remind myself. They are growing. They have not been through the life experience that college gives you, and so they are growing. And so that's what I've had to constantly remind myself, because I've found myself treating them like I would treat a fellow adult sometimes, and that's a little bit mature for where they're at, and I can't do that. Kind of segueing off of that, my patience this year was really tested, and for a hot minute it was at absolute zero. I have had to take a bit of a step back and reevaluate how I'm teaching this year. Baby steps is the big thing that I'm holding on to right now. Baby steps. Can't rush progress. I was going into my second year thinking that we were going to have things figured out and that we were just going to obliterate everybody else in the world of percussion education. We were just going to do it, and in some ways we did. We are definitely much better off than a lot of other programs in my area in regards to just holistic percussion education, not just marching percussion, but concert percussion as well. But I've had to kind of realize a lot of these guys didn't get a middle school experience. The middle school band wasn't a thing, and a lot of my players are like first and second year of playing in general. And the things that we've come to accomplish as that shouldn't be happening. Now, of course, my expectations for them and my standards for them are always super high, and I'm going to push them super hard because I know they can do it. But I've had to kind of adjust what our definition of success is. That's been the hardest thing for me, is adjusting that definition and being willing to be okay with baby steps. Again, as I said, marching season came and went. The percussion themselves placed 9th in the state in our Division II championships, which I'm super proud of them. And I'm looking forward to what this year holds. We are back to the original size that we were when I first started. We're marching 2 tenors, 4 snares, 5 basses in the battery line, with a slightly smaller front ensemble. We took the drum set out of the front ensemble this year. I I had some players that could do it, but I really needed them on battery. And so the front ensemble is missing a drum set this year, but that's the only thing that's been taken out. Everything else is still there, and the rack part is more involved in this show, which I'm looking forward to. Gonna start looking for staff for them pretty soon. I'm excited about this year for them because the people that I have this year have already been through 2 years of education with me, and they read much stronger and much faster than the groups that I've had before. And so they've already completed their first movement of the show, and they are already digging into the second movement, which is good. They're going to move quick, and so I feel like when I can put some less experienced staff members in front of them, and they can still find success with where they're at, which is good. A lot of them now are seasoned veterans and have been through indoor with me at least twice or at least once and have developed chops from that, because the indoor shows that we picked these past 2 years have really been some pushers on the front ensemble side. Speaking of indoor, we'll go ahead and jump to that. This past year's indoor season started out really strong. We got a class for the indoor percussion ensemble here at the school, and it was second block every other day, and we were able to start the show much earlier than a lot of the other groups did, which was really crucial for us because the majority of our battery line was new on the instruments that they were put on. I had some kids moving up from bass drum to quad drums. I had a kid move from bass drum to snare drum. And my bass drum line, for the majority of them, except for bass 1 and bass 5, were all wind players. So it was a big learning year for everybody, and it helped out a lot to have all that extra time. Motivation was super strong in the beginning. It kind of diminished throughout the season, not just on the students' side, but on my side as well. We were tired. We were really tired. And with my patience already wearing thin and me having that whole mental game that I was having to play with myself every day of, am I really suited for this job? Is this really what God wants me to do with my life? It was hard. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say on that. It was really hard. Those who were closer to me know more about that whole situation. But for YouTube purposes, I'm just going to leave it at it was very hard. The end of the season was not what I was hoping for. We did solid for what we were, and that's what I have to keep reminding myself. We did really solid for what we were. We were not bottom of our class. We were a solid middle of the road. And we had some really, really good moments, and I think it was a great learning experience for everybody involved. Wind players got way better at rhythms. My percussionists got way better at expressing and playing well with dynamics and movement. And we moved well together. I just don't think we were all on the same page mentally. I don't think we were all ready for what it meant to be part of the indoor group, because it is a completely different environment than what marching band is. It is just a completely different beast. And I think some of us weren't quite ready for that transition yet. We've got a group of kids. We already had our interest meeting. We've already picked out our show for this next season. We've got a group of kids who are super excited to join this year. They seem really, really motivated. And they're the kids that have come in this most recent generation that were motivated from the beginning and have just not stopped getting better. So I'm excited for what this next year holds. Kind of waiting on a few things to fall into place on that one. We have a homecoming candidate for the indoor percussion group, which is more than what I could say for last year, which means we won't be starting at $0 this year, and we won't be having to completely crowdfund our season this year, which will be an immense help. Hopefully this year we'll be able to do some better show design. We might be able to afford a drill rider, because while I feel like I've done a decent job at riding the drill these past 2 years, I can't say that my drill has always been the best. And I want to take some classes on some drill riding for indoor and outdoor, just to better understand what's required of that before I really start delving back into drill riding. I'd really like to be able to afford a drill rider this year for the show, because I know they will be able to write much better than I can, and it'll just give the kids a better experience. I'm hoping we can jump off the ground more, because for a large majority of my front ensemble, at least on the marimba line this year, they're seniors, and this will be their last indoor with us as a whole, and so I want to make it a really good one for them. Personal life. We're finishing up year 1 in the house. I actually just got done. This is not what I originally got up and put on this morning. This will be my second shower of the day. I spent some time out in the garden this morning. I took down 2 massive bushes that were in our side lot and have mulched the garden, and I'm about to start on the backyard. Well, backyard, it's really more of a back patio with like a 1.5 foot of grass. I need to go out there and pull the weeds back there and just make things look better here. Yeah, I don't really know how much more there is to really say. Oh, I am forgetting for one thing. So at the conclusion of indoor season this year, taking you way back to Christmas for a second, my wife got me and her tickets to the Open Class and World Class Finals for WGI this year. So I got to go up to Dayton, Ohio and watch those. I met 2 of my personal vlogging role models, one Kyle Sachuya and Mr. Eric Carr, or otherwise known as EMC Productions. I got to meet them both, took a picture with them, got to joke around with Eric about when he's going to put out the next Behind the Got Glock video, and joke around with some of his friends that were sitting there with him. Got to see some really awesome shows. I unfortunately did not get any lot videos. I didn't bring my camera with me. I only brought my phone, and I wanted to live in the moment for the WGI experience. So I just kind of went out there and did my thing. Went inside the merch tent, got some more Broken City merch, got a few things from Pulse. Really enjoyed seeing their shows this year. They're both phenomenal groups, and got to be introduced to some groups that I've never seen before, which was really cool. Which kind of brings me to a segue of going back to talking about indoor percussion. I'd like to get my group involved in WGI this year. We're going to look into going to the Knoxville WGI Regional this year and see if we can... I'm just going to put us out there and see what happens. I'm not expecting anything huge from the group going into year 3, but I just want to, now that we're kind of in this, I want to see what we can do against some of the big dogs of A class, because with WGI there is no regional A classification. We would have to go jump up into A class to go. I just want to see what we can do. I look forward to what this year has to hold. Yeah, there's not really much left to say. This summer is going to be a big summer of vacations for us. Somehow me and my wife have managed to get on to 3 vacations this summer. So we're going to be gone for a lot of the summer. And we're just going to spend some time resting, kind of recuperating. I'm going to spend some time doing a lot of Nintendo Switch playing. My wife got me a Switch for my birthday, so I've been grinding on some games. My favorite of which right now is Luigi's Mansion 3. I got it yesterday and have almost completed it today. Kind of no life in the game right now, which is not good for me. As far as drumming goes and releasing more content that way, I don't know that I will get back into it. I'm not going to promise anything. I may release a video here and there, but really right now I have been trying to make drumming an enjoyable experience for me personally again. There for a little bit during teaching, drumming got to a point where it reminded me of work, and it reminded me of the stress that I was experiencing at work. And so drumming became synonymous with stress, and so whenever I would pick up a set of sticks and start to play, my heart rate would raise, and I would just get in this really bad mental state. And so I've not been able to drum for my own pleasure for a hot minute, which has been really a struggle because music is kind of my thing. And so not having my own outlet for a while has been hard. I've kind of had to pick up some new hobbies. I picked up playing D&D this year. I've been going to a little place called the Good Times Game House and playing D&D there. I've just kind of picked up some other things. I've diversified myself a little bit, tried to get away from just being a music guy and only being a music guy and just being a one-trick pony. I wanted to make my life more diverse. And so I've done that. I'm getting back to now where drumming feels good again. I don't know that I don't know that I'll hop back into content creation for drumming just yet. I want to be really solid in that mental state of drumming for fun again, and not drumming to suit anyone else's need of content, or not drumming to suit my own need for someone else's satisfaction of my own playing. I want to be able to drum just for me for a little bit. That was another major reason why I gave up social media, was because I've realized that the only reason that I would go learn anything for drumming was to go post it on social media and then get reaction from other people, which is not healthy. A musician should never just be playing for the reaction of other people. You should be able to enjoy your own art before you let other people enjoy it. And that's a really important thing that I guess I've kind of learned this year. There are still some things that I've not told the vlog yet, and that I'm kind of waiting on before I put them here. I'm kind of waiting for some things to fall into place. I'll share more about those soon as they do, and if they don't, we'll continue on the course as planned. More so on the personal side of things, on waiting for those things to fall into place. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next year's teaching. Do I want to jump back in right now? Absolutely not. I just got on summer vacation. Right now I am A-okay with just gaming for the summer and just spending time with my wife and having a good time. But I am looking forward to what year 3 holds, and I think I've figured out what I'm meant to do as a teacher with God, and I've gotten to experience some of my students telling me about their salvation this year, and I'm now realizing why I'm there. I'm not just there to teach. I'm there to be a disciple and to be a witness and to live every day for Christ and be Christ to that community. Not like physically taking the place of Christ, but you know what I mean? Like living the way Christ would have me to live. That's been my big takeaway from this year. Me and God have had a lot of conversations about that and what I'm supposed to do. So, yeah. I'm going to put some pictures here at the end of the video of all the things that I've kind of talked about here. I hope you enjoy this little vlog, and I don't know when I'm going to be releasing the next one, so I guess just be patient for right now. But there you go. Enjoy the pictures. Don't know whether they'll go that way or that way, just one of the two. So, yeah.